Hello and welcome. My name is Leo, and I'm so excited to take you on a special journey today. We're going to explore a magical house full of surprises and, you guessed it, numbers. Each door in this house has a number, and behind each door you'll find something fun and interesting to count. You may be wondering, Leo, how is a house full of numbers magical? Well, that's exactly what we're going to discover. Numbers are all around us, and today we'll use them to explore this house and learn new English words. From flowers to toys, we'll count everything and practice saying it all in English. Before we begin, make sure to turn on your subtitles so you can follow along. And remember, repeating the words after me will help you practice your pronunciation. Ready? Let's dive in. Behind me you'll see the first door. It's marked with the number 1. That's our first stop. Are you ready to see what's behind it? Let's open the door together and discover what's waiting for us. Here we go. As we open the door, we step into a bright, sunny room. And look, right in the middle there's a beautiful flower. It's big, colorful, and standing tall. Do you see it? That's our first object to count. Let's look closely. How many flowers do you see? Just one. That's right, there is one flower in the room. In English, we use the word one to talk about something singular like this flower. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. One flower. Say it out loud. One flower. Great job. Now let's describe the flower a little more. It's big and colorful. Can you see all the colors? It's such a pretty flower and there's only one of them. You can say, the flower is big, or the flower is colorful. One more time, one flower. Perfect. You're doing awesome. Keep repeating these words so they stick in your memory. Remember, practice is key. Before we leave this room and head to the next door, let's take a moment. Can you look around and find something else that's just one thing? Maybe one pencil or one book. If you find something, say it out loud. One pencil, one book, or whatever you see. Great. As we leave the first room and walk down the hallway, we come to the second door. This door has the number 2 on it. Let's open it and see what we find inside. Wow. Look at this room. It's a little different from the first one. Here we see 2 red apples on the table. One apple is shiny and the other is a little bigger. How many apples do you see? That's right, there are 2 apples. Let's practice counting together. Ready? Repeat after me. 2 apples. Great. Now let's say it one more time. 2 apples. Excellent. Now let's talk about these apples a little more. They are both red and very juicy looking. You can say, the apples are red, or, there are 2 apples on the table. Can you see how easy it is to count things in English? The number 2 helps us talk about 2 things like these apples. We say, 2 apples. As we finish exploring the second room, we continue down the hallway. The next door has the number 3 on it. This is going to be fun. Let's see what's behind this one. Wow, what a colorful room. Inside we see 3 toys scattered across the floor. One toy is a small ball, the second is a teddy bear, and the third is a toy car. How many toys do you think we have here? Yes, there are 3 toys. Let's practice counting together again. Ready? Repeat after me. 3 toys. Say it out loud. 3 toys. Great job. Now let's talk about these toys. They're all different colors and shapes. You can say, the toys are colorful, or, there are 3 toys on the floor. The number 3 helps us count things that come in groups of 3. For example, you can say, I have 3 toys, or, there are 3 toys in the room. Take a moment and look around you. Can you find 3 things? Maybe 3 pencils, 3 books, or 3 chairs. Whatever you find, say it out loud. 3 pencils, 3 books, 3 chairs. Good job. Now that we've explored 3 amazing rooms, let's take a moment to review what we've learned so far. We've seen numbers 1, 2, and 3, and we've counted flowers, apples, and toys. How awesome is that? Let's go over each number and practice together. Ready? First, let's start with the number 1. Can you remember what we saw in the first room? That's right, there was 1 flower. Can you say, 1 flower? Repeat it after me. 1 flower. Well done. Now let's move to the number 2. In the second room we saw 2 apples. Can you say, 2 apples? Great. Now let's repeat it. 2 apples. You're doing fantastic. Finally, let's review the number 3. In the third room we found 3 toys. Can you say, 3 toys? Repeat it after me. 3 toys. Awesome. Now I want to challenge you. Look around you and find something that you can count. Maybe you see one pencil, two chairs, or even three books. Whatever you find, say it out loud in English. Ready? Go ahead. For example, I'll say, I see one book on the table. Now you try it. I see. Great. Keep practicing. You see, counting is everywhere. Every time you count something, you're practicing English. Keep it up. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Now that we've learned about numbers 1, 2, and 3, it's time to put everything into practice. In this chapter, I want you to really think about how you can use these numbers in your daily life. Here's the challenge. Look around you and find 1, 2, or 3 things. Can you find something you can count? Maybe you see one pencil, 2 books, or even 3 cups. I'll give you a moment to look around. Ready? Go ahead and find your objects. For example, I see one pen on the desk. How about you? Can you say, I see one pen? Awesome. Now let's try the number 2. I see 2 books on the shelf. Can you find 2 things? Maybe 2 shoes or 2 chairs. Let's say it out loud. I see 2 books. Excellent. Finally, let's use the number 3. I see 3 pictures on the wall. How about you? Can you find 3 things? Maybe 3 toys or 3 cups. Let's say, I see 3 pictures. You're doing great. This activity is a fun way to practice counting in English and helps you connect the numbers to real things around you. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. I encourage you to keep looking for things to count throughout the day. The next time you're at home, at school, or even at the park, try counting objects in English. It's a great way to practice and have fun with the language. Congratulations! You've completed this exciting adventure through the magical house, and you've learned how to count in English. We started with 1, then moved to 2, and finally 3. You did an amazing job practicing, and I'm so proud of you. Remember, learning a new language is like exploring a new world. Every word you learn, every number you count, brings you one step closer to understanding and speaking English with confidence. It's all about practice, and today you've made great progress. I want to encourage you to keep going. Every time you count something in English, every time you speak a new word, you're getting better. You can do this. Don't forget, learning takes time, but with each practice you're growing. So here's a little reminder. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of the learning process. Keep practicing and you'll see improvement every day. Whether it's counting 1, 2, or 3 or learning new words, every little bit counts. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure through the magical house. I hope you had fun, and I'm excited for your next learning journey. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can join me for more English learning adventures. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, you're doing great. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.